team, Shujaa they are trying to see if they will be able to go out there and make a huge statement during this weekend's edition of the Vancouver Sevens. They will not be the only teams that will be playing. Other teams will just be trying to also make sure that not Kenya, but them win it this time out. Let's go straight ahead and see what are we going to expect in regards to do with the Vancouver Sevens. Different pools altogether, different teams will be out there just eager to be able to win it. We have a Pool A. Pool A has USA, Australia, Canada, and Uruguay. When we talk about USA, remember, they are coming from a very, very positive victory, and they are coached by one man who we had, but maybe never utilized him the way we would been actually expected to. Now he's making that USA team become a force to reckon with. I'm talking about Mike Friday. He's a team to beat in Pool A. We go to Pool B. When you talk about Pool B, we have the likes of Wales, Samoa, Argentina, and also England. When we look at this pool, different results might come, but maybe arguably the teams to beat there is England and Argentina. Also, Wales is a team that is trying to make huge strides and also trying to make impressive statements, but we don't know what will happen in that pool. We talk about Pool C. Pool C is a spicy one, and for Pool C, a lot is expected from this pool because the Kenyan boys will be in action and they will be representing the country, and they go out against Fiji. Remember, against Fiji in Las Vegas, Kenya had what it takes to down them. France had a better outing against Kenya because France did punish the local boys. We go out there trying to say that Spain are the underdogs in the group, but you never know. Anything can happen. So it's not an easy group. But for the Kenyan boys, a lot will be expected from them because they won against Fiji. They were beaten against France. Again, they meet a group that has a lot to be expected. Anything can happen. We know that the Kenyan team at times, they blow hot, at times they blow cold. So we don't know how Vancouver will shape up. We go to the next group, and it is the final pool, Pool D. A lot is also expected in Pool D, and in Pool D, I'm told we don't have that graphic for Pool D. Let me just see if I'm having it here on my end. Pool D. A lot is expected, but in general, as I'm talking about what we expect in Vancouver, it matters to do with a different pool. Different teams altogether will be as much as possible there trying to make a statement. Pool C, yes, we're talking about this pool, and the Kenyan team is there, but let's just go straight and see what are we expecting from the Kenyan boys. They will be in action 9:14 p.m. today. Shujaa against France, the first game, and then against Spain, it is 12:46 a.m. So we're talking these games, it's early morning against Spain, again morning against Fiji. So this is what will be highlighting that menu for the Kenyan boys tonight. A lot is expected from the local boys. Look at that standing. We're talking about South Africa, a team that they went out there, got maximum points in Dubai. They went to Cape Town. They went to Sydney. They also went to Hamilton and Las Vegas. And their results always handy, making them be on top of that log. We're talking about the Fijians. They're also making a statement, but because the Fijians got maximum points in Hamilton, the 22 points. Australia is also there. They've won one this time out, and that one is in Sydney. So when you look at that standing, Kenya is not amongst the first best teams, but we lie on the 8th position on that log. We only have a total of 45 points. In Dubai, we were able to get 10. Cape Town, we got only 3 points. Sydney, 10. Hamilton, we got 12. And last weekend, we only managed to get 10 points. But we are not doing badly because there are other teams on the bottom of that log. But when you look at the USA Sevens, they are coming from winning in Las Vegas. So even for them, they're just trying as much as possible to make huge statements. And when they make those huge statements, when actually that team ticks, they always make sure positive results go their way. Scotland, maybe the underdogs this time out. the results not the best. France is on the 10th position, but we're facing them, so they will be as much as possible just trying to see that they get positive results. From that, we come local and we talk Kenya Cup. We know Kenya Cup is always a beautiful league, and different teams try as much as possible to see how actually they rack in positive results in matters to do with the local rugby league. We remember different teams who are out there, they made their statements, and they will be just trying to see if they will bag it this time round. KCB unbeaten, they were able to top that log. And for KCB, together with Menengai Cream, they finished on the first and second position. So they don't play in the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, we have Cabraz Sugar against Strathmore. We have Impala Saracens, who will go head-on against Kenya Harlequins. And when you talk about these two games, very, very crucial. When we talk about KCB and Homeboys, they are the teams. KCB finished top of the log, that is the Kenya Cup log, before the playoffs. Homeboys finished on the second position, and by virtue of that, they automatically qualify for the semi-finals, where KCB will go head-on against the winner of Impala Queens tie. Impala will play Kenya Harlequins, so the winner and Cabraz will play Strathmore Leos. The winners of those games will be paired against KCB and Homeboys, after which the winners of those pairings will go to the finals. And when we talk about that final, it is a final that is slotted for the 24th of March. So after the 17th of March, winners of that pairing, the final will be played on 24th of March. And we will see who will be able to go out there and bag those much-needed points. Kenya Cup, always a beautiful league, making sure that the Kenyan boys in matters to do with rugby have all that they need to have so that to be able to represent the national team when they are called for that role, and they go to different places all over the world. Let's leave matters to do with rugby aside, and we talk Kenyan Premier League. Always a beautiful league, and a lot is expected. When you look at that stand, we know how Gor Mahia has been having an impressive season. We know how Mathare United, on the other hand, have been having a very, very impressive season. But there is a live match that is currently going on in the Kenyan Premier League, and that is Kariobangi Sharks against Gor Mahia. When we talk about Kariobangi Sharks, their tactician, that is Muluya. Muluya has been a very comfortable manager, and he's saying, I was able to finish on the third position of the log in the 2017 season. I am back. I have very, very beautiful striker. We're talking about Eric Kapaito, who against Homeboys was able to score 3 goals, going head-on against Sofapaka. And when we talk about Sofapaka, Sofapaka is a team that knows well how the Kenyan Premier League glory test, because they have been able to win it once, and they are there this time round, just trying as much as possible to see if they will be able to rack in those much-needed points. It is a game that is currently going on. 42 minutes have passed. What's your take? What do you think that this match is offering, and who do you think actually will have it all easy? I'm not certain how the results are. I've not been following, but I'll be able to find that in a bit.
I think today is the day when Kariobangi Sharks should really make a statement. They performed impressively well last season, and they have started the season, the new season, on a high, jolly good high. And, of course, Sofapaka, they performed very, very well last week, and they managed to get some good 3 points for themselves. Now they're on the road, away to Kariobangi Sharks. I think Kariobangi Sharks should win this one, but tremendous respect to Sofapaka. They are a team to live out expectations, but today I don't think those expectations, they will be able to live up to them, because it's got to be Kariobangi Sharks. That's my honest
46
opinion.
minutes gone. It's just about to get to halftime. Still goalless. It seems like all these players, maybe they're playing a cautious one. They don't know what exactly to do, because all of them needs a point from this match.
Yeah, the ground could be a bit slippery, so perhaps that contributes to the slowness in terms of getting something on the score sheet. You see, that's like the second or third fall the guy has actually slept, and he's just slipped and fallen. The ground is a bit slippery, and I think that contributes to that. The game hasn't settled. You can see there's no run of play that's been witnessed in those few minutes that we've been watching it, actually. They need that break at halftime. They need that pep talk, calm down their nerves, and I think that's the whistle for halftime.
Yeah.
Or no. Is it for goal kick?
It's
almost halftime anyway. But I think they need it right now, and then they can come back into the second half, and maybe Kariobangi Sharks should win it.
When we talk about Kariobangi Sharks, and at the same time when you talk about Sofapaka experiences there, we're seeing actually those managers, halftime prayers there. A lot is expected from this team, and they are a very impressive way of maybe giving players to the national team, and we're talking about the likes of Kapaito who's there. So when we talk about Kariobangi Sharks against Sofapaka, it is only one of the games. That was the earlier kickoff. We will be having different matches actually that will be played. Kariobangi against Sofapaka, it is a game that started at exactly 2. I think some few minutes past 2. Kakamega Homeboys will be out there playing against Ulinzi. For this, I just need your prediction as we move. Kakamega against Ulinzi.
Kakamega Homeboys against Ulinzi. I think Kakamega Homeboys should win that, perhaps even 1-0. But it's pretty much the same as Manchester United, Liverpool, because one team, I think, is on top of the other. So they might swap places in the event of a loss or a victory. But I tip Kakamega Homeboys to win that one.
Posta Rangers against Wazito. Remember, Wazito, they lost their last match. They're going against the Rangers, who seem to be playing the way the Rangers are supposed to do their work.
Posta Rangers, just like what you call Kariobangi Sharks, had an impressive outing last season overall. And I think against Wazito FC, who haven't quite found their footing in this league so far, I think Posta Rangers should win this one, especially because they're playing at home. They should win it.
Yeah, we're talking about Posta Ranger. We also have a different match altogether. We will have those boards. Mombasa United will be in action against FC Leopards. They are the big cats. They look wounded. They are trying to get those points. Mombasa United have been an impressive team so far because they are on top there, just fighting for that leadership position against Gor Mahia. So they go head-on against FC Leopards. Tusker FC is also another team that is trying to see if 2018 season will be a best season for them. Remember, Tusker FC is a team that has been able to win the Kenyan Premier League 11 times. But the last time they won it is in 2016. Now Gor Mahia took over, and it seems like Gor Mahia, the sides are just going out there and getting those victories. Not an easy one for Gor Mahia this time out, but we see what will happen. Tusker goes head on against Thika United, a team that just needs to see if they will be able to pick themselves up and get those much-needed points. Vihiga United on the other side, going against Zoo Kericho. Zoo Kericho, they never started the season that well, but they got one win. It seems like maybe they have the morale and they think that they will not go down at the end of the season.
It's a bit of a comedy show between these two sides because none of them started the season well. Zoo FC, yes, they bagged 3 points the other outing, and they came back, I think, 2 games ago, and they came back out of the relegation zone, and then they lost, I think, last week, and then got back in. But overall, I think Zoo Kericho FC should beat Vihiga United. Mathare United, AFC Leopards. Leopards have clawed their way into the top 10 of the table standings, and I think we predicted that exactly 2 weeks ago. And then we predicted that Mathare would leave the space up for Gor Mahia, who would take it. And that's what's happened pretty fast. But I think Mathare United should win that one. Tusker FC, Thika United, a bit of a derby, a Thika Road derby. I think Tusker FC should put in a good account for themselves and bag 3 points.
Let's talk about Sunday, because on Sunday we have one big match that will be broadcasting live on KTN News. It is Gor Mahia against Nzoia Sugar. That match will be live here on KTN News tomorrow. And we're talking about Gor Mahia and how impressive they have been. We remember their tactician, that is Dylan Kerr, just talking about how the fixture congestion is making them have a nightmarish season. Against Esperance, we saw what happened, a barren draw, but they are still confident and comfortable that maybe they will be able to salvage that situation when they go to Tunisia. And you know, when you go to Tunisia, it never gets easy. So for them, they will have to be at their level best if they want to progress to the group stage of the club championship, that is the Africa Club Championship. Bandari on the other side, they are playing against Sony Sugar, and I know we should, because the match for Kariobangi Sharks is going on. We had a story about how Kariobangi Sharks is preparing for that match. We will not pick that for now. We will rather pick a different story in a few minutes, and that is one story about Farouk Shikalo, a very impressive player for Bandari there. He's actually been a consistent goalkeeper, just trying to shape up that team. And for Farouk Shikalo, he's only conceded 2 goals. And when you talk about those 2 goals, it was against Gor Mahia, a team that always tries to score those goals. But for Farouk Shikalo, he's saying, I'm confident that I will do what I must do to be able to make sure that Bandari FC is where it needs to be. Let's check out that story. Victor Ogale now reports.
Farouk Shikalo has over the years continued to impress between the posts, a journey that began a decade ago. Born in Shamahoho, Kakamega County, Farouk asserts that all that he has in life is through football.
Ile timu wakiko hapa ni very, very superb. Timu wakiko hapa ni very superb. Watu, they are working for each other. Ukiangalia, yani every department unaweza sema, ndio unaweza sema kidogo pande ya kufunga labda, safu yetu wa mbele labda yuko vizuri, lakini nakwambia tunasukumana. Kila department tunasukumana.
While at JMJ Soccer Academy in Nairobi, he got recruited to join the National Youth Talent Academy in 2011, where after graduating he had stints at KRA, Tusker and Muhoroni Youth Football Clubs, alongside featuring in the Kenya Under-17 side.
Ile mwanzo kidogo walikuwa hawapatani, lakini vile nilivyokuambia kwamba Farouk ni goalkeeper ambaye ana ujuzi na ana sema kama experience.
Football is round, unaona. Football is round and you just meet the same people, unaona. Naweza kwambia unaona kama 2010 nilikuwa na Uburu, nilikuwa na Muangalia, nilikuwa na Lan kutoka kwake kiwa national team, unaona. Coach Razak Siwa, unaona, na Coach Ken nimekuwa na yeye national team, easy youth team under 20 nini. So walini welcome vizuri na walinisaidia sana.
With his current form, a national call-up is what the lad is yearning for. Victor Ogale, KTN News, Mombasa County.
Yes, Victor Ogale in Mombasa. He is a person who really loves sports, and he's telling us how Farouk Shikalo remains comfortable and confident that he's doing very, very good. Actually, he's having a good time at that Bandari den. And when we talk about Bandari, we know how the season has been for them. They are on the 6th position on that Kenyan Premier League log. But the people who are topping that log, as we were talking earlier, is Gor Mahia, who have been able to get 13 points so far. They have been complaining how they have a lot of fixtures that they need to honor, but the result is going the Gor Mahia way. So the Green Army has a lot of reasons to smile. We're talking about Mathare United and how Mathare United are just trying to up that game. They had a lot of young players. They now have a mix, a gel, a concussion, one will argue, of experience from together with the young players. And it seems like Francis Kimanzi is doing something beautiful at Mathare United.
Glad you've mentioned Kimanzi, because you can't talk of Mathare and not mention Kimanzi. He's a brilliant footballing mind. I have so much time for him. In fact, I sent Nick Mwendwa a tweet. As soon as he was elected the FKF president, I told him, take Kimanzi, let him run the national team. He opted for something else instead. And, well, he was within his rights to do so. But I still think that now there's a sort of semi-vacuum at the top for Harambee Stars. Perhaps Kimanzi should be taken. But then he's with Mathare right now. And Mathare are a good prospect. But I think this is Gor Mahia's season.
We're talking about, and I remember last week we had a story of Nick Mwendwa saying that we will get a coach in 1 week. It is 1 week later, but I know, rumors has it, we've already secured a coach, but he's having a notice elsewhere. And if that is what it is, maybe we still have to wait a little bit for the national team to be able to get that coach. But you're talking about Francis Kimanzi and how he's been impressive. Also, we go back to that log. On the third position, we have Sofapaka. We also have Kariobangi Sharks, a team that is on the Kenyan Premier League season once again, and they're just trying as much as possible to make those huge statements. Champion Sugar, remember, they were down there, but they are picking up. They are on the 5th position on that log. Bandari, we talk about Bandari and how impressive their goalkeeper has. We remember that they also got the best player for the month of February coming from that Bandari lane. So it tells you that something good is happening at Bandari. FC Leopards are struggling unit, but they are on the 7th position, and maybe they have opportunity to get much-needed points in their in this weekend's fixture. Ulinzi Stars, I always call Ulinzi Stars as a perennial league underachievers because they know how beautiful it is to win the Kenyan Premier League. They have won it 4 times, but it has been a while. They are not showing how well the champions they can be. Kakamega Homeboys, another team there. We have Sony Sugar, Posta Ranger, Nakumat FC. When we talk about Nakumat FC, I think the players of Nakumat FC are trying to be as impressive as they can. Talk about that money trouble, and I think the person who will maybe go out there and sponsor that team, maybe it will pay dividends for him because they have the players, they have the caliber of a unit that might be able to even arguably challenge for the league, but some little issues that when sorted out, it is not a team that one will not want to invest with. Zukericho, they are down there, 3 points. Vihiga United also with 3 points, and Zoya with 3 points. When you look at that bottom side of the log, do you think that it will stay that way for maybe some few months to come? Or there is a team that might go on the top and maybe above the half of the mid-table?
I think generally the league has started to take shape at the top and at the bottom. So the sides you see at the top there, top 3 or top 2, those are sides to take seriously going forward. Down here, you have Nzoia, you have Vihiga United and Zoo Kericho. These sides, even 2 weeks ago when the league was still fresh and quite young, they are the sides that dominated, especially Nzoia and Zoo. They're the sides that dominated that tail end of things. So I think the league is starting to take shape on both sides, both ends. And these are sides now you have to start taking seriously in terms of relegation, in the long term of things, just generally speaking.
Yes, it is a general speaking, and anything can happen in the Kenyan Premier League. All these teams just trying as much as possible to see that their status on that league is positive. Is a positive, actually, place. But a lot of competition is there. So all these teams, it is not an easy one, but you will never call it early because anything can happen. In football, we're talking about how other teams are struggling. But if they start picking up, they can do that and do that in style and maybe be able not to go down on the relegation zone, and maybe sometime to be able to finish amongst the best 8 teams, which arguably in Kenya is the creme de la creme of the best teams in the country. And a lot of teams always try to be above the 8th position because of the Shield Championship on the other side. Now, we take a short break, but when we come back, we will have some little NBA. At the same time, a lot to talk about in regards to do with the English Premier League. That and much more after this short break.